Hey guys, Jeremy, here at my way, MFG. My wife Carol has this 2015 Ford Explorer. She's driving around the other day. Water starts dripping out of the overhead console where the dome lights, moonroof switches are. She calls me and tells me, I'm thinking, well, the drains are plugged up, I'll get them cleared out, you know. Next thing you know, the sunroof opens itself up and then won't work anymore. She gets it home, we pull it here in the garage, and it's been sitting here for like a week. Can't move it outside because the roof won't close. Well, she wants me to close it. Said she really doesn't even care if it works. She doesn't use it, she just wants it closed. That's an easy thing to do, right? I remember my old 91 Ford with the power window motors. 2 wires. You go this way, the motor raises it up. You reverse them, go this way, and it brings it down. You reverse the polarity through the motor for up and down 2 wires. Not the case with this. So I drag out a continuity tester and a voltage tester, a multimeter. I check the fuse. The fuse is good. I find the end of the other wire up in the overhead console. I check it from the fuse to the end of the wire, and I've got power up to my switches. So then I think, well, I'll check continuity through the switches, right? Wrong. Let me show you what's going on. These are the switches, and they're one-touch switches. You hit them once and it goes through its whole cycle. So it's not just a 3-position switch that you can check continuity through. I actually took this apart. There's a computer board in here, a little printed circuit board. It's got several relays on it. Then you have a pin connector that's got, I think there's about 12 wires going into it. So the second one from the bottom on the right, I think it was the hot. And I knew I had power to it. I started pushing them and trying to do continuity tests. I didn't get continuity anywhere. But I don't know that you would, because without the pin connector being connected, there's nothing there to pop a relay with a hot in the ground going to the relay, you know. So I don't even know how you check this, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I kind of gave up on that. I thought, now what the hell am I going to do? So the next step is I thought, well, I'll look at the back of the motor. Maybe the motor's only got 2 wires to it, you know, and I can just jump it there and get it to close. Anyway, I finally get the motor pulled out. 14 wires going into it. 14 wires. Where do you even start to jump it at, right? Not a straightforward thing. You can't really test continuity through the switches. You don't even know what the terminals are supposed to do. You can't find anything on the internet. First thing I did was go to the internet. I couldn't find anything. There was nobody that ever successfully figured out how to do it without just changing parts. Guys would just put in a new motor or a new switch or maybe both, and hopefully it works. But that also runs through the computer. Those switches, let's say the switches are working. They don't activate the motor. They send a signal down to the computer, and then the computer comes back up and activates the motor. So here's something I read on this. There's a learning procedure when you change the motor. It's got to know where to open and stop and close. It's not a matter of using end switches. The computer figures all this out. And say that moonroof is moving and it hits an obstruction. It says it will back up and then it will come again and try a little harder. It'll do that 3 times, each time increasing pressure, trying to break through the obstruction. And if it can't do it, then the cycle's over and it stops. And you've got an obstruction you need to clear out. So there's a lot of witchcraft going on with this damn sunroof. So I get the motor out. How am I going to make that work? You know, where do I even try to jump it at? So I'm thinking, well, maybe there's a manual screw at the end of the worm gear on the motor and I can just stick a Torx bit or something in there and a drill and turn it. No. There is a plug you can take out and see the end of the worm gear. It's countersunk back in there and it's just a round shaft. I mean, you can't turn it. So then what do you do, right? And I've exhausted all searches on the internet. I would read the forums, guys that asked questions, nobody really had an answer, and then the forum was left open. Nobody ever finished telling how to do this. So, well, at this point I got the switches out and I've got the motor out. I'm assuming one of them's bad, but I don't know which one, and I don't know how to test anything, right? So I start to noticing this black piece on the motor just clips on there. So I thought, hell, I ain't got nothing to lose. Probably have to buy a new motor anyway. I might as well unclip that and take it off. So I did. I turned it upside down. You can see that circuit board's been wet. So that's telling me pretty much I think I've got a bad motor here, or, you know, a bad circuit board. That's probably the problem, because I had to switch apart too. It also has a circuit board in it, but it wasn't corroded or anything. It looked pretty good. You know, for what the hell I know about circuit boards, I didn't see it burn anywhere or nothing. So I'm thinking, well, how does this circuitry actually make it to the motor? I get to looking. Well, look right here, guys. 2 prongs right there. Right there, just like the old door windows were, or motor door glass windows on my 91 Ford. So I take me a 12-volt drill battery, I touch into them terminals, the motor spins this way. I reverse them, it spins that way. So I think I've outsmarted these Poindexters that's designing all this shit once again. And I think I can put this back in there, jump these in the right polarity, and get it to close, and probably order me a new motor at some point, but at least I know how to close it now. And this might be the only video on YouTube that actually shows how to close one of these after they're screwed up. There's the end of that worm gear. You can't turn that. I thought about taking a Dremel, making a flat slot in it and getting a straight screwdriver in there and turning it, but it's countersunk down in there a long way. That was going to be hard to do. But anyway, this motor will spin with this battery just on them 2 terminals. So we got 2 terminals here that actually run the motor, and it reverses the polarity to decide which direction the motor turns. And then in here we've got 12, 14 wires doing computer shit. And in here we've got 12 wires that do computer shit. But when we get to the motor itself, it goes back to the basics. So anyway, I'm gonna go a little further here. Hook me a couple wires on there, leave them hanging down so I can access a drill battery to them, and bolt this back in there, and very carefully try to touch the wires and close this thing. Right there, I just put a couple spade connectors on the ends of those wires. This is a 12-volt drill battery, by the way, same as what your car would be. If I hit it this way, I've got clockwise rotation. If I reverse these, got the white on that side now. Oh, my wires fell off. My battery might have just went dead, guys. There we go. Counterclockwise now. So anyway, that motor works in both directions. The next thing is, this is open all the way, so I gotta be careful when I do that. I don't want to turn it in a way that's gonna try to open it too far and strip my cables or something. So I'm just gonna barely bump it and watch it. And if it looks like I'm going the wrong way, then I try it the other way. I don't know which way those cables are supposed to turn to move that, really. But anyway, I'm gonna get it bolted back up in there now. I got that motor back up in there. I'll try it in this direction. Hey, we're getting there, guys. Getting close there. I think I got it. See, if I keep going in that direction, does it tilt? It does. So I need to go backwards a little bit because I'm tilted up right now. So I'm going to flip these wires. Oh, went a little too far the other way. Hard to get it to stop just right. I'm just going to bump this one little time. See what that looks like from the outside. No, that was starting on its way back down. So we got to go back. Got to go back the other way. Not sure that's right. Let's go back this way. That looks pretty good right there. I think I better stop with that. Anyway, guys, I don't know how much trouble you're willing to go through to get your sunroof to close, but I just went through a hell of a lot of trouble to do that. That was a difficult job. That motor's hard to get to. I think if you took the headliner all the way out, it would be easy, but I just kind of pulled it down enough to where I could reach in there, and it was hard to do. But anyway, if you've got a sunroof stuck open on one of these, that's what I just did. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I got it closed. I can pull the car back outside now. And by taking that black cover off of that motor, I'm pretty well assured now that it's the motor that's bad. So I know what to do to fix it. So I hope this video helps somebody. It's a lot of trouble to go through, but if you don't have a garage and your car's out in the rain, maybe it's worth it, you know. Anyway, guys, later, Jeremy.